G'day viewers, welcome to Wimbletrain. It's layout update time. So most of the work I've been doing has been on this high street module again. I've got a little bit further with it. Now I've stuck all those buildings down now. They're all glued down. I've built an extra one here, Sue's Cafe. So I didn't have enough to go across there. So here's a bit more of a close-up view of the pub. You see around the back here we've made a beer garden type thing, outdoor area. People sitting at the benches there. If we take a walk up the high street, we can see all the shops. We've glued all these down now. We built that extra building there, Sue's Cafe. Then we go off to the station. Got a couple of figures on there, need a lot more obviously. And then that's the car park we've done. I just used the scale scenes paper for that. Had already the line markings there, so that made it easier to do. And then we've also got the put the fencing there along the platform. I weathered the footbridge a little bit because it was a bit too bright, just with a bit of dark brown wash. And then we've got the fence along the platform there, and we can go have a look around the back, put a few little details around the back of the shops. Still need to add more. I made some rolling stock purchases over the last few months, one of them being the Class 37 there in BR Blue. Looking fine there. And then some Mark 1 coaches. So they're all different ones. Some used, some new. And then we have the Dapol Class 58. That's a new purchase from Hatton's. Now I want to get some different wagons for this, but for the moment just put these NCB wagons there with coal loads. Again, some new, some used. Also purchased these ARC hoppers second hand, and I removed the loads that were in them and put my own in there. And I'll show you how I did that in a minute. So all of these are used hoppers, and I changed the loads on these ones as well, which we'll have a look at in this video. So I got these wagons second hand and they were full of coal loads. So I've decided to remove those and put aggregate loads in. Like they were filled right from the bottom to the top. Like in the bottom there was like some lead weights or lead shot or something, and then it had just the coal sitting on top. Now the coal was fairly easy to get out. I just wet it with a bit of water, but the lead weights at the bottom were a bit harder to get out, so to dig those out, putting rather a effort in to get all that stuff out of there. But we've done it now, so that's what was in there, as we can see there. Little pieces of lead and the coal. So here we've got our wagon that we're going to fit our aggregate load to. Now what I've done here is 3D printed a load and we are going to put some gravel over the top of that. This will just sit inside the wagon so that we don't need to fill up the whole wagon full of gravel. So I cut the little stud off in the middle that was holding the original load in, and this just sits in the top there like so, and then we'll just sprinkle the aggregate over the top and glue it in. So here we're just sprinkling the aggregate on just a little bit to sort of take the shape of the 3D printed load. So we don't need a lot of it here. Just slowly fill it up, and that should be enough, and then we'll move on to the next step, which will be to put the glue in. So that's the stuff I'm using there, the knock ballast limestone. So you can use watered PVA for this, or scenic cement, but I make up my own Mod Podge glue, which I think is 1 part Mod Podge, 3 parts water, and a few drops of dishwashing detergent. So first up, we'll spray it with some isopropyl alcohol so that the glue will soak in nicely and not distort the shape of the gravel at all. So we'll just get our diluted Mod Podge glue that we made up, and we'll just drip that in slowly. Don't need a lot of it, because that'll just soak into the gravel and hold it in place. So then we just need to leave that to dry now. So building this department store low relief from Metcalf, because I need to make it sort of more low relief on my layout because of where I want to put it. So this is the N scale version. So you can see here that I've narrowed the building down a fair bit. If we find the piece that I cut off, that's how much I've cut off the sides. So a fair bit's gone. And this makes the whole thing a bit trickier, so you can see there how wide it's going to be. So what I found was that when I was building this, as with other Metcalf kits, you have to colour in the corners, because when you fold them it exposes the white card. So in the past I've been using toothpicks, getting it into the watercolors and going down the line, but that's rather tedious. Use a brush, that's a bit quicker, but you tend to make a lot of mess on the sides you have to clean up later. So yeah, normally I'll just get a damp cloth, not wet, and I just clean off the excess watercolor paint, and that seems to work alright. So I did find a better solution to this. These little applicators. I got these from a cosmetic shop because they're a lot cheaper than buying them from the hobby shop, and they work really well, so we'll see in a minute. So yeah, I got mine locally here. You can just get online and have a look, and you should be able to find these. There's different sizes. I think these ones are micro size, so yeah, there's a pack of 100, so that'll last a while. So with that, what we'll do is we'll get that into our watercolours, and then we'll just bit of water, rub it into our watercolour of similar colour that we've got to the brickwork. And then the beauty of this is it'll sit in the groove, and as I say that, I stuffed up the first bit, but anyway, it'll be pretty steady. I'm not usually that steady, so bit of concentration. But yeah, in the end, it's a lot quicker, and it does do a neater job, I think, because it actually sits in that groove. So there's less paint spread around the sides. But if you do spill it like I did, you just get your damp towel and just clean it. Don't rub hard, just gently, and it will come off being the watercolor. And then you can see there you get quite a nice clean result. Looks really good. So yeah, makes the job a lot quicker or less tedious. So I'm happy with that. So I suggest, you know, you get some of these, you can use them for glue as well, so very handy. So just wanted to show you another scale scenes building that I built, but I slightly modified this one from the standard. Like previously I built this, it's the T005 scale scenes kit, high street backs and fronts, and I've joined them together. You might have seen on a previous video I did, join them together to make one big building, the fronts and backs. So what I did with this other one, and I'll show you the front here, it's the same as that one there, just in a different finish. So what I did with this one is I made it a bit bigger building, a bit wider. You can see the difference there between the two. And all I did to do that was when I cut out the side walls, I didn't just cut them out individually as per normal. I printed these out, stuck them to the card. Then what I've done is I've drawn a roof line across the two. So I have two of those. So do the same thing with this one. And that makes up this side wall here. Just so it's a little bit different from the rest. So with that comes another problem, is the standard overlays are not big enough for these double sidewalls. So I imported the scale scenes page into Inkscape, and from there I just picked out the pieces I want and just joined a couple of the brick faces together to make one solid piece. So that's how I did that, and that's the finished product. See a couple little people hopefully inside the cafe, the table. So yeah, that's that'll be added to the high street, because I was one building short for that double module. So that's it for this update. Quite a bit of work on the scale scenes kits. Takes up a lot of time, as I've said before, but slowly getting there bit by bit. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to always enjoy your model railways. This is John at Wimbletrain saying bye for now, and see you next time.